the second facility of this nature provided by the Trust to cater to the needs of 3 to 4-year-old Barbadians. The construction of this school increases the number of public nursery schools in Barbados to 11. This school will be at a capacity of 150 students when its operations begin on Monday next. And owing to the Trust's continued commitment to Barbados, we are expecting to open the doors of another nursery school at Oldbury in Paris St. Philip later on this month. The school at Oldbury, I'm given to understand, will cater to another 120 students. Mr. Holder, the government and people of Barbados are blessed by the decision of the Maria Holder Memorial Trust to honor the memory of the late Maria Holder through the provision of nursery schools and training in nursery education in Barbados. We place on record our profound gratitude as a nation for a gift whose value cannot in absolute terms ever be measured. On behalf of the government and people of Barbados, I thank you and the trustees of the Maria Holder Memorial Trust for the warm generosity you continue to show towards this country. The vital importance of early childhood education has long been noted by educational theorists and psychologists of the stature of people like Plato, Aristotle, Piaget, and Maria Montessori. They have established that the early years of a child's life are the foundation for later learning and for life in general. It is during those early years that rapid physical, cognitive, social, and emotional growth takes place. In Barbados, the provision of formal education for young children dates back to the 1800s. Dr. Dan Carter, in his recently published book entitled A History of Childhood Education, The Barbadian Experience, informs of the establishment of an infant school in Mason Hall Street, Bridgetown, started by Reverend William Hart, an Anglican priest, which catered, of course, to children between the ages of 2 and 6 years. In that work, Dr. Carter states that the tradition of the church's involvement in the provision of education for young children continued with the Moravians when in 1834, persons of that faith started their first daily infant school at Sharon in the parish of St. Thomas. That location was coincidentally just a stone's throw away from the place where the first Maria Holder Nursery School is located. The 19th century was characterized by the relatively rapid growth and development of education in Barbados. This was seen in the enactment of legislation such as the Education Act of 1850, which made provision for financial assistance to be made available for infant schools, and which initiated the process of these schools becoming part of the public school system. By 1854, the number of infant schools was calculated to be 13. The educational framework in the first half of the 20th century was formulated so that education was available from age 5 to 16 years. It was during the 1960s and 70s that the government of Barbados focused attention on the provision of formal education for children under the age of 5 years, that is, the nursery stage. The extension downward to the nursery child can be said to be building educational opportunities from the cradle to the grave, that is to say, lifelong education. The first public nursery school, Erdeston Nursery, in in the Pine St. Michael was opened in the year 1965. It took 7 years for another nursery school to be opened also in St. Michael, the Government Hill Nursery School, in the year 1972. And then another 3 years for another school to be added to the complement, the Eden Lodge Nursery School in 1975. Almost 20 years later, St. Stephen's Nursery School was opened in the year 1993. Of course, as far back as 1973, in its development plan, 1973 to 1977, the then government of Barbados had initiated a new policy directive on nursery education, which stated as follows, and I quote, "Government considers that children in the age group 3 to 5 years should be exposed through formal schooling to social situations and basic concepts of color, numbers, shape, and size, and to elementary forms of communication by way of language and art form. Consideration will be given to the possibility of developing nursery departments within primary schools," unquote. 2 of these early nursery schools were donated to the government and people of Barbados by the JCs, and we thank them for this early contribution to nation building. I'm proud to say that today, in the year 2017, we have in place 11 public nursery schools and 50 nursery units at 50 primary schools, providing tuition for approximately 2,200 students. We're also aware that a large number of 3 to 4.5-year-olds also access tuition at private nursery schools. There are myriad benefits to be derived from exposing children to quality early childhood education programs. These include the following: development of literacy and numeracy through play-based interactive learning, providing opportunities to learn how to socialize, building of self-confidence and self-esteem, fostering enthusiasm for lifelong learning, and promoting values such as respect, patience, and tolerance. Early childhood education is without question the platform for the construction and development of a child's spiritual, social, emotional, and physical attributes. These building blocks will prepare children for life with its varying and ever-changing nuances, particularly in this dynamic and volatile phase in today's world. The main benefit of early childhood education is that it advances children towards achievements that enable them to become well-rounded, self-actualized individuals. In the 21st century, this is an invaluable ingredient for the positive development of our nation, Barbados. Several arguments have been advanced over the years for the need to expand facilities for early childhood education, supported, among other things, by the advancement in research pointing to its place in our educational structure and by the changes in the structure of the family. Research has highlighted the tremendous benefits to be derived from immersing young children in well-organized and developmentally appropriate activities. This knowledge has impacted on the way policymakers and education planners view the development of the young child. In addition, changes in the family structure have necessitated the establishment of institutions which offer quality care and supervision during the hours when parents are at work. In many modern societies, there is tended to be a decline in the reach of the extended family, which has resulted in the need for the state and the private sector to fill this ever-gaping void. The government of Barbados remains therefore committed to the provision of early childhood education. This is well articulated in our national strategic plans, which highlight universal early childhood education as a key component to propel Barbados forward. Further, Barbados recognizes the United Nations World Declaration on Education for All, which affirms the expansion of early childhood care and education as its first goal. The government's early childhood education expansion program has to a large extent been supported and propelled to fruition by the development of a partnership with the Maria Holder Memorial Trust. The Maria Holder Memorial Trust has selected this worthy area as the benchmark of its philanthropic outreach to Barbados. It has been an insistent, committed, and dedicated partner in the cause of the expansion program and is contributing significantly to the achievement of the program's goals. The Trust's exceptional contribution is fully reflected in the state-of-the-art facilities provided at the Maria Holder Nursery School at Sherwin, and here today at the Maria Holder Nursery School at Gall Hill. I understand that the same model has been replicated at Oldbury in the parish of St. Philip.